Okay, hi everybody. I'm going to be doing my makeup and I'm going to be talking about high school things like advice, what not to do, like just basics. It's like telling stories. It's a lot. High school is a lot. I'm a senior, so I feel like I know things. I mean, I know things like some things, but we're just going to be talking about high school and how much it sucks, but also how to make it better. Let's do that. The first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is freshman year, one of the hardest years of high school, like socially. Academically, it's not too challenging, like depending on where you went to school. Like I went to school in Florida, it's not that hard, but you should still definitely try because you don't necessarily need to take hard classes as a freshman, but as long as you're trying, you're probably going to get higher placements for the rest of your classes, like sophomore and junior year, which will put you better off for like colleges and stuff, and just keep your GPA up. So as long as you're trying, it's easy. Like socially, it's really hard because we're all just scared freshmen. We're all looking for friends and we're all trying to just find our place, and it's really difficult. But yeah, like as a freshman, just be nice to each other and like don't think about it too much. Freshman year was so hard because you start to realize that a lot of people are fake and people you thought were your friends are not. But you eventually do find people that you have common interests with and who are pretty decent. And also, people do change, which is not their fault. Like everybody changes, you're gonna change, and as long as you understand that, and even after you do a bunch of self-reflection and growing, you actually start to, some people come back to each other as different people. No one's perfect and we're not always all the best of friends, and after time, if you know how to like come back to someone and admit you were wrong and show them that you changed, like it's amazing. You might realize that your friendship was very valid, but you both had to do some changing. You guys can be friends again, or maybe you won't, and you'll find perfectly new people that fit your changed self better, because that also happens and is also necessary to be friends with new people. Also, something that happened to me my first day of freshman year, basically, oh, I look so pale. Wow, that's a problem. The way my school did things was only freshmen went to school on the first day, called freshman day, and my school was 3 stories and they were outdoor staircases, which is very common where I lived, for like hallways and like stairwells to be outside. And I was going up to the very 3rd floor. It was my first period or my second period class, and it was science with Miss Cherry, and I tripped on the stairs, and there was someone who I later identified to be an upperclassman above me who saw me trip. And as I was tripping so quickly that when I got to the next step after, you know, tripping, I hit my knee, and it was like a little like crunch, and I was going so fast that I was trying to get up to not embarrass myself, which I already did, that I tripped again twice in a row. And now every once in a while, when I do like a lot of like running, or like if I had a long day of like walking somewhere, my knee starts to hurt, and it's been like this for about 3.5 years. Still to this day. And that happened like 2017, 2018. The second thing I'm gonna talk about is academics. And I'm relatively a pretty good student, I'd like to think. Like I have a pretty decent GPA, I take rigorous classes, and academics are very, very important in high school. Now, they're not everything. You should not be like dying inside because you have so much homework to do, which a lot of times, sadly, is the case, and it's not fair, and high school is basically rigged against you, and things like SAT and ACT are also rigged against you, which is a whole different conversation. Sophomore year for me was definitely the hardest year And junior year, so I started off the school year doing online courses, and then I switched to regular school, and then the pandemic happened, or it's still happening, and we had to switch back to online classes. So basically junior year was pretty easy, but really awkward and very weird. And now starting off senior year, I've been doing school for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I feel like I have so much work to do, but it's also a very different curriculum because I don't live in the same place as I did when I started high school. So I think that has a lot to do with it, because the curriculum is a lot more vigorous now here where I am. You should definitely be trying. You shouldn't just be putting your homework off. I know that like you want to go hang out with your friends or watch YouTube or do whatever, and like me too, but it is very, very important, because all of that starts to add up to like your GPA. That's like a pretty big deal for like colleges. So as long as you're trying and applying yourself while you're in high school, and if you're like one of like the really gifted students, or like you're just really good at taking hard classes, you should. But if it's like hindering like your happiness or your life, it's probably not worth it. Another important thing is to ask questions, because you know I get shy. I don't like to ask questions in class, but it is important. And especially now with online classes, it's actually kind of like helpful, because you can just, depending on what platform you use to like do your class meets, you can just type in the chat F in the chat. But you can just type in the chat. But asking questions is so important, and you should really be doing it if you're having a hard time, because then you're gonna take a test and you're not gonna know what you're doing, and you're like, man, I really wish I would have asked that question, but you didn't. So next on our list of topics is friends. Friendships are very important, and you need like 3 good friends, I would say. Like, you really don't need any more than that. I mean, obviously it's okay if you do, but like you shouldn't be actively pursuing having so many friends, because a lot of times you're not going to be able to keep up with them, and a lot of them are probably going to end up being very fake. Go out searching for different kind of people for all the wrong reasons, or just not great people, and you're gonna. So for me, like I said earlier, freshman year, I had a really rough time with my friends, and we all kind of had this little like falling out. It was hard. Like, I was very lonely for a very long time in high school, and eventually started making some pretty amazing friends that I still talk to just about every day. And I don't live near my friends from my old high school anymore, which is a lot harder. I live very far away from them, so I like never get to see them, and I still keep up with them, you know, and some of them I don't, and that's really unfortunate, but it's just how life is. There are some very fake people out there, and there's people that are searching for attentions, aren't the kind of people that I wanted to be friends with. And when I stopped like pursuing people who would another thing is I joined cheerleading, I joined color guard, I started doing things outside my comfort zone, which helped me grow as a person and helped make so many amazing, great friends. So that's just another reason why you should be doing other things like sports and things like that. If someone's not putting as much effort into a relationship or a friendship that you are, you don't need them, and you're better than that, and you deserve someone who's gonna put equal effort into something. Why are my eyebrows like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my eyebrows sometimes. I don't usually use this brush. I don't know, calipers on my forehead. I got them Jim Charles Sharpie eyebrows. No hate, Jim Charles, love you. I have, where is it? I have, you know, love you. Oh, and finally, if someone is toxic, cut them off. Oh, something I forgot to mention earlier, do not eat the school food. Don't eat it. Just don't do it. Like, you don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, next on our list is popularity. It's overrated. That like amazing inner circle feeling, and I've been friends with people in the inner circle, and some of them are great, and some of them are literal evil spawn. If someone's actively just not caring about themselves, not caring about their lives, and they think that doing it is cool, and they think that being mean to other people is cool, it's not, and it's just not right, and like it doesn't make any sense to me. And not everybody who's popular is like that. I know plenty of people who are just normal, down-to-earth people but a majority of them are, and I stand by that. So if you're trying to get into the popular crowd, just don't do it. Mean Girls, you know, she starts to become one of the plastics, and then she starts becoming everything she hated about them, the whole reason why she wanted to be friends with them, to expose them. Or like, have you ever seen the movie The Barbie Diaries? I have it on DVD actually. And she like does a documentary about them and then starts to act like them and realizes that they're all fake and they're behind each other's back and are just evil gossips. That's what happens. And it's true, it happens in real life. And you just don't want to be like that. Right, time management. So waking up every day at 5:30, getting to school at 6:30, going to school for 6 hours, going to a 3-hour practice, and then going to a basketball game for 2 hours and cheering, getting home around 9:30, doing the dishes, walking the dog or whatever, doing my homework, taking a shower, maybe have some time for myself or like whatever, or like maybe I want to talk to like one of my friends, or like, I don't know, call my grandma. There was no time for those things. And I was doing this on this particular week. I had 2 basketball games, I had practice every single day of that week, and I had a competition on that Saturday. Time management is very important, and it is something I'm still not that great at, but we should like try to learn to be good at, because it's not easy. High school is rigged against you, and we really have to prioritize things like make time for yourself, which brings me to my next point, which is stress / like anxiety and depression in high school, which is, I feel like, something that like is so like cliche but also taboo at the same time, that like that doesn't make any sense to me, but we're gonna talk about it. And basically it's like people expect you to be depressed and stressed out or don't take it seriously, which is just so wrong on so many levels. There's a lot of things going on and you're dealing with school and the stress of trying to do good so you can get into like a good college and things like that, or you're dealing with just like drama at home or drama with your friends or anything like that. It can get really overwhelming being under serious stress to do well, and stress on yourself to do well, and just from other people, and that can be really hard. I think that having a good support system is important, and I feel like sometimes this can be very like exaggerated in like the media, or like overlooked or taken the wrong way. So like I think it's important that we talk about it and like acknowledge that it happens, because it happened to me, like it happens to a lot of people. Like, it's normal, you know? So this is the final look. I put like a little here, bring it closer. I put like a little like, you see, I put some chapstick on. There's still glitter all over my face. What? I think it came out pretty good.
Are you sure about that?
My lips are like, yeah.
Ciao. Anyway, so
The whole point of this video is just me telling you in high school just to be yourself and to not overwork yourself, and put some effort into the things you do and to the person you are. I think you're gonna be okay. If you liked this, or like, comment, like, subscribe, I can't tell you what to do. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this, and this video is over now.